this car actually got driven a lot today. In total of, it'll be about 50 miles today. Took it to Kent twice. If I make a right out of the parking area, it's smooth. That part of the speed bump is totally fine. It's the left. They put in big pieces of steel now because so many people were bottoming out, I guess. But it's been kind of a shit show, actually a total shit show day, as Tuesdays are now. iOS 10 came out today. That was a total disaster. I had to go to 2 classes today. The only good news in that is I got out an hour and 15 minutes early from my second one, which meant that's a time when nobody gets out of class, which meant that there's like no traffic on the way home. So I'm gonna get home in 20 minutes instead of an hour. I'm getting used to burning 40 minutes a day sitting idling in traffic. Today, at least this trip, my 4th trip home from Kent today, not too bad. So years and years and years ago, it was common that an Apple update would not work right. You know, it would fail, it would crash, you'd have to put it in DFU mode. It was okay. It was the second update they ever released. We're a decade into this now, and it's not better. So for the first hour today, 12:58, so the update came out at 1 p.m. here on the East Coast time zone. At 12:58 I went and checked for the update. It was there. I clicked download. It took like maybe an hour to download. It's a gigabyte for some reason, and apparently that is the Delta backup size. It's actually a gigabyte of stuff that changed, which flabbergasts me. I would have guessed that the IPSW RAW would have been about a gigabyte, and then the changes, the only changes, I would have guessed under 100 megs, but I was way off. So it's a gigabyte of changes in iOS 10. Took forever to download. Installed on my way to Kent to my class. I get into class, it's still rebooting, and then it gives me this screen that has the little iTunes logo, an Apple cord, and an arrow indicating plug into iTunes. Like, had MacRumors open. I refreshed MacRumors. The update is bricking devices. So it looks like Apple forgot to test it again this year. That's the second time they've done that here in the last 2 years. They released a normal low quality update for iOS 8, 9. It disabled, I think it was Wi-Fi and 3G were and 4G LTE were disabled, so it turned off the networking. So what that tells me is Apple doesn't actually test their software or their update procedures before they launch it, and that's really scary, that they will push a gigabyte upload to billions of people worldwide without testing it. That's like borderline terrifying. They've had 1 year. They've been in a beta program since July. They've had I don't know how many releases between betas, release candidates, gold masters. Finally it comes out today. What do? They shit the bed before their head even hits the pillow. So I just got to class. I don't have a sync cable with me. Dude, get your piece of shit out of the way. Bye! I'm in that kind of a mood today. So, we're gonna cut through the bridge with some performance. Anyways, I don't have a sync cable on me. I can't plug it into iTunes. So I finish my class, I race home, I plug it into iTunes. It has to download the file through iTunes then, which is a 2.3 gigabyte. That's the full size of the raw IPSW, not a Delta update. So it downloads the 2.3 gigabyte IPSW, restores that, or updates that way. I did not have to restore it, thank God. I just did it last Tuesday. I'm about to do it again on Friday, and I really don't want to do an intermediate here. So I got it working. Been playing with iOS 10 in the last class, which was boring as shit. And I've kind of determined that it's really largely an update for teenage girls. From the mail application, or from the messages application, you can go in and send like little bubbles, and you can send circles, and there's like a traffic light. If you press and hold it, it's this big red blob. I don't know what the hell any of that is. Total garbage, useless, wasting megabytes, Why it's there, I don't know. Stickers? Why the hell did we need to send stickers to people through messages? No, that's not what this phone is. This phone, to me, it's a professional tool. But I guess to most people, it's a toy and a game. So, kind of disappointed in that sense. There are some very useful features. If I were to pick up my phone right now, it would light up. I don't have to feel around and try to find a button to press. It lights up. So there's something that's useful. A couple other refinements throughout the operating system, but the Messages app kind of got trashed, and the notifications really got trashed. Now they're these huge white blobs that take up tons of space. Not sure what was wrong with how it was before. It was very functional. The default font size seems to have changed throughout the operating system and has became larger. It's easier to read. It was sometimes if you're, not even if you're driving, but just you look at it, if it's bright, you got your sunglasses on, you'll look at it, and at least I would struggle to read it sometimes, and I'd have to bring it closer. And the last time I was checked, I had better than 20/20 vision. So, bigger font in a couple areas is not a big deal. The music app, I don't use Apple Music. I think it's kind of a gimmicky feature. I turn off the Show Apple Music feature in settings. So I have an extra touch now to get to my playlists, which is what I use. I can live with that. Swiping up from the bottom, the control center, they felt the need to put that in 2 panes, so it's an extra swipe to get over to the music controls. Couple little things I don't like, but I mean, if it brings the animations definitely seem smoother, so maybe there's some software refinements there. And on the iPhone 7 with the enhanced processor, that'll only be better yet. So I'm not going to totally bitch out the update. It was a really bad first impression. I really hope somebody loses their job over that they forgot to test it or some shit. I mean, that's totally unacceptable. And really kind of shocking that 10 years into the game and Apple's still releasing updates that break your devices. I don't even think Android does that. And they're the peasants of this whole operation. So they did fix it within an hour. They released a statement saying that, 10.0.1 came out within an hour. 10.0.0 was such a failure, they had to release their first small update within an hour. It's crazy. So that's kind of the rant on iOS. There's just a lot of little changes. I don't know why they call it the biggest update yet. That's total bullshit. It really doesn't seem to do all that much. They just ruined the notification center and the Messages app. No big deal. I never use either of those things. I'll get used to it, and I'm sure I'll like it, and being on the cutting edge hurts, but this edge isn't cutting anything. It's kind of getting duller. Unless you're a teenage girl, then you can send circles and stickers to people now. In other news, I received my iPhone 7 case that I ordered from Apple.com the other day in the mail today, and it is pretty much the same as the iPhone 6S case. The only difference that I have noticed, actually there's two, the camera hole, hey, thank you, Valentine. I could have done something irresponsible there. The camera hole is notably larger for the iPhone 7's camera, the one I got. So bigger camera hole, and it also I think is a little lower. And the buttons on the leather case itself, if any of you guys have an Apple leather case, you're probably very used to fighting with it all the time, trying to find the buttons. To find the power button and the volume buttons, they have no tactile feel. You don't really feel them on the device, they totally blend in. The iPhone 7 case now has these kind of glossy plastic buttons that are very easy to feel and actually deliver a tactile feedback when pressed. So thank God they figured out how to do that on a $50 case. It's time to wrap up today. I'm sorry it was largely a bitch fest. Tuesdays are just, they're the worst day of the week this semester. It's very uncomfortable. It's 1:08, Razvan and Sabrina came over. We did the usual. It was relaxing as hell. Got their phones updated to iOS 10 as well. Seems that 10.01 has fixed all the issues with updating. I think I've complained about that enough. There's quite a few things that I actually really like about it. My phone's on 1% right now, so I'm not going to do a little demo. You guys probably have devices that you've installed the operating system on yourselves, but the raise to wake is awesome. Getting used to the notifications, the turn sideways to draw a picture and send to somebody is unique, although not really sure how practical that is. a couple days I'll figure out, you know, I'll learn my way around the enhanced ecosystem and see if there's any features that come to my benefit. But it's 1:10, I'm exhausted, so I'm gonna go up to bed. Tomorrow I think I'm having lunch with Joe. I need to get some oil for the mower, or not for the mower, but for the blowers. I need to mix up some gas oil mix, so I'll need to get another pack of synthetic mix 1 gallon oil cartridges and mix one of those up. Tomorrow's supposed to be cooler, only like 72 degrees, rain in the morning into the afternoon, so I might not get the yard work done tomorrow. Meeting in Ravenna tomorrow night with the project. Amy Bauer, got to meet with her and see what she wants us to do. And during the day I might do that discussion stuff. I have to post my initial response by tomorrow night. So that is it. I'm going to bed. I hope you guys had better experiences, initial experiences with iOS 10 than I did. And I'll talk to you guys tomorrow on Wednesday. Good night.